Hi, welcome back to My Life with Plants. I'm Newman. Today's you are going to get a bird's eye view of me watering. It'll be a bumpy ride because the camera is actually right in front of me. So now that I got two hands free, I'm able to just water. Here we go. I chose today. Yesterday was rainy. Today is overcast, cool. And I consider today a good day for watering. And the reason for that is cacti, as you know, like to put out more root growth to take up more water. When you water when it's raining, it's the best time. If you water on days that on that particular day when it is very hot, the cacti will take up less water. So one of the best days for actually watering is on a rainy day. As you all know, they have that particular stomata that only open during wet or overcast or at night time. It's when they do that gas exchange. So through their stomata, they'll take in carbon dioxide and push out oxygen, and also they will absorb a whole lot more water. And it's also cooler, which stimulates them to drink more water. And I get better results this way. Would it be more ideal if I had watered yesterday, because that was actually a lot of rainfall. These are underneath the eaves, so they don't get any of the rain, although they feel that humidity. So they will be actively doing a gas exchange now, opening up those stomata. And I get very good results, as I've said before, when I do it this way. So much better when I have my hands free. I'm able to just water freely like this. There are a lot of growers out there that prefer to only water if they have a forecast of a whole week of sunshine. However, when it does rain, anywhere where it rains, it's always cooler and more overcast anyhow, so you might as well just do it as naturally as you can. And generally when you do water just before a sunny hot day, the medium dries out very, very quickly. They don't have a chance to absorb enough water or to do what they have to do. cacti and orchids share that alike. Orchids are also have that CAM process where they do most of their gas exchange during the night. So during the daytime it is the time for photosynthesis and taking in energy, turning it into carbohydrates, and then or storing that energy, and then at night is when the growth happens. So they can actually get the gases into their system. And as they're doing that, they do a whole lot more growth and growing. And so watering during a wet day is more beneficial for your cacti and your succulents and orchids. And if you don't know the CAM process, it's the first letter is C for, I can't remember the scientific name, but it's I'll put that on the screen for you. It slipped my mind. I'm good at that. Amino metabolism, and all other plants that I know in the plant kingdom, they will busily take in carbon dioxide and push out oxygen and open their stomata during the daytime because they come from a wetter environment. But these plants, they have to store as much water as they can. That's what makes them successful at where they live, and orchids too. That's why orchids can have fleshy leaves, fleshy roots, and thick leaves, or even bulbs if they are terrestrial. So I'm going to fill this back up and we're going to continue watering. Before I fill up my water can here, I use ammonium sulfate. You should always check into using chemical fertilizers to make sure that you don't make mistakes. But ammonium sulfate is almost 100% nitrogen. What it does do to the water is it makes it more acidic, which is closer to what rainwater is. And why do you want to do that? Why do you want to make your tap water acidic? Is because a lot of cacti grow in or on limestone, calcareous clays. There's even quartz rock, and there's all sorts of bedrock and minerals and everything like that. They contain calcium and magnesium, and all of these things are very hard for plants to take up. And so as they're growing in their natural environment, the rainwater is acidic, so it's about 5 to 4.5 pH. And what that does is it causes those mineral rocks to slowly dissolve as the rain comes, and then it's easily accessible to desert plants, because if you didn't have that acidic water, those minerals would never dissolve and nothing would be able to grow there. I used to use a pH meter, but I know how much to put in. It's about 2 tablespoons. It's very hard to read it because as you put ammonium sulfate in, it takes a while for it to register on a pH meter. I'm going to put this towel here because I have a leak. But I did put electronic tape, or the tape that you use to stop leaks, on threads. If you do plumbing, I did use some of that, but I think it has a split. But hopefully we won't get all wet today. Alright, so that's why I make my pH acidic in my water. Hopefully the camera didn't get knocked out. But next up on the board, whoop, just kicked something. This thing here has a lid. I'm going to introduce that to you later. We have some more here that did get some water. I'm going to give them a bit more. They are big drinkers. Once they've had their fill and they're growing well, then I'm going to have to back off a little bit. But for now, they are on a roll. And what I mean by that is that they are really putting out some growth. Those of you that live in a cooler climate, like England, you guys don't want to water on rainy days, but I want you to just have a little experiment. If you have a greenhouse outside and you have a couple of rainy days, even 3 rainy days just before you get sunshine, try watering then. Makes a big difference. So you're going to have to look into metabolism of cacti, and then once you know that, you know you're on to a good thing. Overcast, cool, rainy weather like this, oh, they're going to drink up much more. And by the way, tomorrow we're going to have some sunshine. So we've still got a lot of hours ahead for them to drink this up. These are Echinopsis, by the way, and this is a Trichoceros, so hybrid, and they come from northern Argentina, Paraguay, southern Brazil. And these ones come from a more humid environment, the Echinopsis especially, which means that they do get quite a bit of rainfall, and it does dry out in between. And it's very humid during the summer, and they have dry winters. The good thing is I didn't have anything splitting this year, because I started my watering much earlier instead of too late. So usually I would wait until it's like right into the warmer weather, which means every other day is about 20 degrees, and that caused a lot of splitting. But I made sure that I gave them a water earlier this year while it was still even temperatures of 15, and it would go down to 10 or even 5 degrees just during the night. I made it a habit to water them then, and it's fixed the problem of the splitting epidermis. It's very late winter, early spring, by the way. Alright, I'm going to fill this water bottle back up, and we're going to continue. Here is ammonium sulfate. I think another one that you can use is sodium bicarbonate. Don't be afraid to try new things. It can never kill. It won't do any harm. You can either have success or you see nothing. But I got this advice from a grower that's been doing this for decades. And if you use natural rainwater, then you needn't do a thing. You're all set up, you don't have to. But normal rainwater, tap water is pH 7. It's a little bit, that's too high. Okay, nice full bottle. Let's go back outside. Alright, let's continue. The last time I watered these was a week and a half ago. Weather is heating up, so things are drying out. All the more these cooler days, or temperatures for watering are just ideal. Now, do I have the camera on the right angle? Otherwise you guys are going to miss. That's the Phaeocactus spinus. This will make it happy. Much happier now. They can stay moist all day and all night. Perfect. That's what they need to be able to have a good drink. I mean, think about it. They're going to be wet for over 24 hours. It's so much better than if you water before a hot day and then it just dries up really quickly. Hardly enough time for the specially modified feeder roots to even start. A little bit hard for you guys to see, but I'm trying my best here. The one that I'm watering now is Metacactus atonus, and it's got a lot of buds on it. So are these trichos, Tricho huasha. When we get to next month, I won't be watering quite as much because it'll be much more humid, so they just won't dry out as much. And because they don't dry out, they don't need water. They don't need it at all. We have dry winters here, by the way. Those of you living in England or Ireland and those kind of countries, you have a wet winter. You guys have to be really careful with humidity, and that's why you tend to keep your plants very dry, which is the right thing to do because you have that atmospheric humidity. So those plants are just continuously exposed to moisture, and they needn't have any more. When you come from this climate, it's bone dry during the winter. It's so bone dry that they shrivel away, and then I have to water them. I am watering a Neoportria, and the reason why it's got this protection around it is it burns. The UV light is a little bit too much for it in this climate. While we're here, have a little look at this here. This is a great purchase, and it is Schmickendanzii, Trichoceras schmickendanzii, which is native to high altitude northern Argentina, and it's quite a large plant. If I put my hand there, the seller has been selling some nice seed growing plants, which is a real treat. Sometimes I don't like cuttings. What I mean by a cutting is not a pup that's twisted off, but a cut, and then it calluses off. Sometimes some trichos just don't want to grow roots like that. They struggle to grow roots when you cut them, but if you take pups off, their root systems grow much better. So I noticed it was a seed growing. And this one has a really tough epidermis, the skin, and it can put up with frost, snow, very cold temperatures, even heat. And it has one of the biggest cacti flowers that I know of. Big, huge white flowers, and it's going to be really nice to do hybridizing with. I want to hybridize and see what I come up with, but I'm covering it with this because it was just repotted not long ago and needs a chance for those roots to heal so I don't give it an infection. And if it does get an infection and I notice it has one, then I'll just soak it with hydrogen peroxide. It's a good treatment for cactus rot. Okay, I'm going to top up this again and we're going to continue. Okay, ready, set, go. Next up, I'm going to take this rose head off. And we've got this nuisance thing in the way. Shade cloth is making it difficult. I really want to get rid of it so that we can see better. See if I can just pull this back a bit more. There we go. In case you're wondering what's taken me so long to get back and forward, it's because I have a narrow space. And here we go. So not only am I doing some watering, but I'm doing some involuntary yoga. I'm doing the oh my god, that was a bad idea. Oh, I just got it all over my pants. Oh wow. I'm doing the downward dog in yoga with my back. When the going gets tough, sometimes I resort to the hose. But for now, I really need to concentrate on having closest to rainwater as I can get by adding the ammonium sulfate. This one that I'm watering right now, I've had that one for 12 years. This one I haven't had for too long, about 3 years now. This Proteolenning halcyon. And this one here was a full-grown plant when I bought it. Flowers are just starting to open now. Nice. Gymnocalcium seglionis, and here's another seglionis. Might look like I'm overwatering, but I am thoroughly soaking them. This one's in a bit of a different pot here. Pottery. It's made of pottery. It's a real neat looking pot. It does tend to hold more water, so I can't give it as much. But these porous ones, I can give much more. It's looking good, that Perodia. Some background noise there. This is